Abend.
Hello. Good
Oh,
Abend.
we are not alone. We are not alone. Loyola, Winston.
Well, we're definitely not alone. There's loads of people.
Ah, Frank, Audrey, Fabio, Stephen. Even Noble Bagheera gives us the honor. Jeremy, Drum, Mosh, Daniel, Justin, Rick. Okay, now that I see Justin Day, first things first. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag, Justin. Did you understand what I just said, Dave?
I know I don't have a clue what you just said, but I'll still smile
Happy,
anyway.
happy, happy birthday, Justin.
Oh, happy Justin. Happy birthday. That's what a wonderful day. Yeah. It's birthday time. Danke.
And of course, happy first Advent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're in December now. It's Christmas time. I should have some decoration for next time. I'll have some decorations.
And how did you spend your first Advent with your family, probably?
Yeah, well, you know, I was I was supposed to be going to Chelsea Brighton today,
Oh, you
but
didn't?
no, I had to give my ticket away to a friend because that's the reason I wasn't going to be about. But I found out there's a massive train strike going on at the moment. It's going to be going on, so there's literally no trains at all. Yeah, today from where I am
Okay.
to get into London. So I was
But
like,
not because of the weather.
oh, the weather's atrocious as well, but that's a totally different story. You know, the weather's really horrible. It's just raining and it's yeah, it's been really. Yesterday it was like didn't get above -2 during the day, so it was pretty cold. But yeah, you know, we the thing is, this country it tends to sort of break down when as soon as we get weather extremes, you know,
Yeah.
and this is a very good example. But this is a strike related one. But hey, we're here. That means we're doing an OBC stream, and I'll tell you something I've done, Michael. Yeah, which
Yeah.
you're going to like. I went and had a really deep dig in my vault. Yeah, and I found like a pile of mental reggae LPs. Yeah.
Is there a special dress code in your vault?
Well, well, yeah. Look, you got to look like me. You got to look like me.
Yeah. Oh, the
It's
beard is okay.
it's got facial recognition on it. Yeah. So nobody else
The
can get.
little James Bondish thing, right?
No, that's the other vault.
Okay.
Right now, before we move on, in fact, the stream I'm going to do I'm going to do a bit of a reverse of a stream I did before because I did Reggae then Aphex Twin. This time I'm
Mhm.
going to do Aphex Twin then Reggae, just a little bit of Aphex. Yeah.
So nobody can tell we are doing the same all over.
10 minutes Aphex, like 50 minutes Reggae. Yeah, because
Okay.
I've got some stuff that people just be like, what? But anyway, yeah, I've got to do we got to do beer quickly.
Of
So
course.
I've got very
Even if
nice.
it's
There's always the beers going on. So I've got a lovely Daya Steady Rolling Man here, as you can see. And
nice.
I've got you got to have it in your correct Daya glass there, you see.
And
Which is like,
someday I will have this marvelous, beautiful beard too.
yes, you will. I might have to,
Yep.
actually, that'll make a nice little Christmas present for you, Michael. I might send
Hmm.
you a little package of wonderful English craft beers. And then
IPA.
and then at Christmas time, what we can do is you can go on at your side. I'll send you a nice glass as well, and
Oh my God! I'm really getting
we can
treated.
both raise a glass, drink, you know, and yeah.
Then I will drink it on the next stream if you do so.
No, that is a plan. I'm going to do that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
My
So
alcohol-free phase is over. I did it for 3 months. That was quite
that's
serious.
really good. Do you feel you lost some weight? Do you feel healthier?
Yeah, I feel better, less depressed,
Perhaps more stressed
maybe.
because the beer can sometimes help. You know, sort
Stress
of
out.
just bring down the help
Yeah,
relax and
yeah,
suppress the stress levels a little bit. You know,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
only
That's
for a
true.
limited time. Then you got to go back to it again, haven't you?
Yeah,
That's
you always have to deal with some shit. Now someone faked my account on a stream on
no.
an yes, and made some nasty comments, and now those heroes think I was it. And
Oh, did they fake you? Did they try and dress up like you?
no, they faked my account in the gallery. You know,
Good
they
and
faked
ardent.
they faked this.
I
You
wish
know,
I wasn't. I've not seen it. I'd love to see that.
yeah. Jason sent me a photo of it. Ah,
Oh, that's
what
crazy.
can you do? What can you do?
Well, don't they say what's that thing? I can't remember the term. They say, copying is the best form of flattery.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I said now I really made it.
if someone's doing that, that means you have made it, right? As soon
Yeah.
as people do that, you're done. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we got a good. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna, as I said, a little bit of Aphex Twin,
Yeah.
but followed by lots of reggae and lots of quite deep. I'm going to do a bit of deep talk on the labels and stuff because
Please.
again, it's quite interesting when I go through this, which I've been doing today, just sort of looking and then realizing certain things about certain pressings. So it'll be interesting on that. But I'm going to
Cool.
start. I'll crack on, right? Because I put you probably seen that I put some hot things in the store. On the Aphex Twin side, and I'm going to show a couple of those because they're really nice to look at. But yeah, I mean they all came. I talked about the Victoria Record Fair, but things like this. So this is up. These are the there's this Universal Indicator series, and it's very early on Reflex Records, which is
Yeah.
the label that was set up in Cornwall by, I believe, Grant Wilson Claridge, I think his name is. If it,
Oh,
my
this record is in the shop already, right, Dave?
yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
this is there's four
yeah.
records in the Universal Indicate series, and there's the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green, and
Hmm.
these were all done. Well, the first two were done in Aphex Twin's bedroom studio in 1992. Yeah, these were released in 92, so maybe even a touch earlier. I mean, one of them's inscribed 1989. Yeah, so it's like very early, very early Aphex Twin. Yeah, and also Mike Dredd, who's the Cosmic Commando. So there's two of them, and he worked. He was in Aphex Twin's bedroom studio in his mother's house. This is where it all. You got to remember where this is all where it all started, and
Exactly, and that's may I maybe you know about it because I always ask if you do you remember a 1992 personal computer? Do you remember
I
those?
was banging to all those early home computers.
And
Tell
if you consider this, what they get out, and they used computer
Yeah, well,
technology.
see, there was the
What
Commodore 64, there was the Spectrum 48K, the VIC 20. It's only 1K memory on that thing. I love that era. It was very much. It was very interesting. And by this time, so I think by that time we had the Atari ST and the Commodore Amiga, and they had very good sound. The sound chips were a lot better, and
Mhm,
already tracking sequencing software available for the Atari ST and the Amiga. Like,
mhm,
I remember one called Noise Tracker because we were
mhm,
really into this whole scene. It was crazy, and Aphex was obviously he was making his own equipment as well, and oh yeah, I like that. Noble, I've got a TR-808 and I've got a TB-303. They're pieces of equipment that I love. They're the old drum machine and the 303, the acid. The 303 is in my. In fact, I might have to show them at some point. But anyway,
mhm,
it's good to point those out because these records are all named. Yeah. So you've got one. It's TR-606. In fact, I'll give you the name. So the red one here is TR-606. Yeah. We've got the blue one, which is TB-303. We've got the yellow one, which is MC-202. And then
mhm,
finally, in the rarest is the green set, which is
mhm,
SH-101. And these are actually all Roland drum machines and synths, which were
mhm.
used and made by Roland in Japan. And it's very important because basically Roland kind of, uh, you know, uh, the whole electronic house scene and techno came out of these, pretty much based around these Roland pieces of equipment.
Yep,
Particularly the drums. Other synths we use. People were into the
yep,
analog synths like the Korgs and the Moog and all these sort of other sort of crazy synths. But really, the real bedrock of all this music was Roland from Japan with those machines. Like, that's why they're worth so much money now. I mean, TR-808 in the UK costs about £5,000 or £6,000. A TB-3 is about £3,000, yeah, to buy. I mean, these are like museum pieces now, but they're still used massively.
And they have a significant sound, right? They have a very
I mean, the
significant
TR-808 is the drum machine behind hip hop, behind soul tracks. I mean, I could pick out, I'd pick out numerous pieces of music that are backed by that drum machine, and that's why it's so important. And these guys were using these machines and creating this really heavy techno, and mainly geared towards it was mainly geared towards outdoor illegal raves, techno raves, squat parties, the sort of the traveller, the sort of crusties we called them, yeah, that are into this sort of space music, but also these sort of heavy raves, obviously local drugs going on. And this is what was going on in Cornwall. They were making these records so they could be played out at these events. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. And I think because I was looking also at Den Bosch everywhere for those records you put up there, they are really difficult to get.
Look, the reason you don't see these anymore in the UK.
No, I haven't seen them ever.
I mean, when I saw them, I was like, shocked. I was like, what? And all of them. Yeah. Well, apart from the green, because the green is something from my own. I mean, only 1,000 of these were made. This particular red, 1,000 of the blue. I think the yellow was maybe a little bit more. I mean, I bought the yellow one in 1993 from a record. I bought these at the time. I've got copies of these, but I've not seen them out there. And then suddenly I saw them all. And it's only when, and I was like, what? I can't. And the great thing is, these were played at raves, yeah, but not these copies of not. I could tell when I saw them, they're pristine. They've not been touched. So it was obviously a collector that just wanted them, yeah. And it was this. Hi, yeah. I met someone at the fair. How are you doing, Vladislav? That's really cool. Yeah, we said hello. We had a little chat.
Nice.
So yeah, so it was amazing.
You start to get recognized too now on the fairs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah, I always love it when you meet someone. Oh, I'm in the OBC.
Okay.
I've met a couple, man and his woman in Den Bosch. I said, oh, we are from Singapore. We are members of the OBC. I said, hey, that's great. And you're from Singapore? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they came from Singapore to Den Bosch. Yeah.
That is amazing. I mean,
it is amazing. It's totally amazing.
It's great that you can do that, and get it as people recognize you and stuff. It's happened a couple of times now to me, just sort of saying, "Oh, you're Dave OG." I see you. So it's good, and it was actually good when we chatted. He was really appreciative of the depth of information that I like to impart.
I know that he's here. Just sorry for the interruption, but tomorrow, for every one of you who would like to learn some German or already can speak German, on this channel, Basement 45, we will do a live stream tomorrow in German. Can't wait for it.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you cannot imagine how nice and cool the German VC is. It's amazing.
You might have to come out with some useful phrases for us English-speaking people.
Exactly.
So like, it sounds. How would you say? It sounds very good.
Yeah.
In German.
maybe something like that. It will be 1930, so 1 hour 15 minutes from now.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, look, that was the red, but they're very. I mean, they're really historical records because you got to think of this in Cornwall. This is really the sort of birth. That's where Aphex Twin grew up, and it was in his mum's. It was in his bedroom studio at his mum's house.
Yeah, this is music history. I mean, Aphex Twin.
And you can hear it. It's funny because I can now, when I've listened to these, and I did this the other day because I was thinking, because there's all these rumors about who did what ones, but you can tell the red one's Aphex Twin for sure because there's certain drum sounds and certain programming techniques that I hear that I also hear in listening to things like the selected ambient works and like Polygon Window, and I hear the same drum sound. You know, I pick out a drum and I go, yeah, that's Aphex drum. Whereas the Mike Dread ones are a little bit different. They're very hard, they're very good, but you know, it's very particular sort of stuff. But you can hear the sort of murmurings back then of where Aphex Twin was going to go. And I'll show you this one. See, this one's quite mad. Yeah, this one I've had. I bought in 1995, so that's a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes with the. This is. It comes in this Reflex plastic carrier bag.
Nice.
You can see here. So it's Universal Indicator Series. Yeah. And this one contains a 12-inch, a 10-inch, and a 7-inch, and they're all on green vinyl. And I'll show you them all. So
Yeah.
you have a 12-inch.
Wow.
You have a 10-inch.
Ah, that's beautiful. Oh my God.
You have a 7-inch.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's now, so beautiful.
They only made 500 of these, yeah. And the music on this is mental. It really is. I listened to the whole set the other day, and it's really, you know, again, this you just do not see anywhere. And
no chance. No chance.
You don't see it.
No chance.
Particularly with like an amazing condition. This it gets chucked away, right? Yeah. So it's got the original bag, and it came. I remember it came in this bag, just like that, with records inside. And it's like, I mean, what were these guys doing down there? I just think it's so
cool that you kept them. So cool.
I know. I mean, I kept all, you know, I love all that old sort of the real start, like the British techno scene. Because again, and I really want to do a special on German techno, but I really want to do it specifically because I really love the Berlin sound that Basic Channel did, Rhythm and Sound. They run the Hard Wax record shop in Berlin, somewhere I'd like to go sometime. I've never been there, but I've got everything from them, and I was just such a fan. And I'd love to do a thing on that because I've got all the coloured vinyls and everything, and they look amazing, and the music's brilliant. So, but yeah,
a personal question before we go to the next. Yeah. When you bought this 1995, and you kept this plastic bag,
yeah.
That was loving the music and the record, right? Because I want to sell it some in 20.
No. I mean that's just because I was into it, and I like to keep things in their entirety. I didn't really chuck anything away, you know. So although it came in a plastic bag, which is perhaps not the easiest thing to slide into a record shelf, right?
That's a problem sometimes. They put up these gimmicks, and then I think, hey, where shall I keep this now?
The thing that comes to mind, Michael, the Durruti column, the sandpaper. I mean, you're not going to be sliding that into the shelf without a cover on it, are you?
Oh, I have a good example. Now, please don't mind. But I got a first pressing of
I love the sticker.
Really, and that's the point, Dave. Because look what it has. It of course has the inner sleeve.
Oh, you got the stick. Ah, yeah. See, that's
complete. Usually, at least one is missing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I know the thing is, you don't even to find one with that, right, is difficult. Yeah,
but all of them, record in near mint, jacket in near mint, and then I talked to the guy who I got it from, and I said, how often? And he said, every 50th original.
That's amazing. Every 50th original. Oh, Michael, you've frozen. I can continue. I'm gonna have another sip of beer. Let's see if Michael.
I think Kraftwerk destroyed my internet.
It was those radioactive.
Am I back? No.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. It was definitely the stickers that did it. It was too much. The internet couldn't handle it. See, it's happened again. That's so funny. I'm sure you'll be back. Yeah, you're a little bit, Michael. If you can hear me, I know you came back then briefly. It's just a little bit,
but I don't think so. God damn it!
I can hear you.
And now I'm back. Kraftwerk destroyed my internet. Sorry. Sorry.
No, I'm back. That was only joking.
That was amazing.
Right.
Okay.
I suppose. No,
So,
that's what you. Yeah. So look, it's brilliant. I've never seen. Michael, I've never seen a copy with that. So
no, it's really rare. So if anybody is interested, because I have my perfect one with this sheet, write a message to me. We can talk.
I was
But
talking about there, Michael, just on a note in a similar sort of vein to that. I've put another copy. You know, and this is one of my favorite electronic albums, and we all know what it is. You've got one. Yeah. So the Artificial Intelligence 1992 Warp, the first artificial intelligence compilation. This one's got, I'll show you. This one's got a black hype sticker as well. You see Speedy J, Richie Hawtin, Fuse, Cybersonic. In fact, without saying that Richie Hawtin, yeah, because he is Fuse and Cybersonic. Really, really cool. But yeah, this one's different. Now, I've only ever seen this once before.
Yeah.
Which is when I've got this, yeah. But the very earliest copies of that album came with a promotional poster. I'll show you. Look at this.
Ah, damn it. I want that too. I have a first, but I don't have this. Damn
Look
it.
at this. This is definitely look. Electronic listening music from Warp featuring. See, this is the full-on promo, and they only, you know, I've only ever seen one copy with it. The second copy I got with the poster, and I think they just put them in the first few as like the promotional thing. Yeah,
I wasn't aware of it. I even wasn't aware of it
because they don't even. It's so unknown that people don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love that poster. It's so because it's really an iconic, picture as well. It so sums up that sort of early 90s feel, you see. So yeah, no, really, really cool, really cool. But right, so that's kind of the Aphex bit, you know. We've done a touch of Warp, which also has got Aphex as Polygon Window, but under the name The Dice Man. But that's a different story. Now I want to move on to some mad. I went and found a pile of reggae records. Yeah,
cool.
But yeah, it's difficult to know where to start with these. But
just at the beginning.
Yeah, well, I've got. In fact, I'll tell you what I will start with. I've got loads, and I'll go through because they've just got such good covers. I've got a load of Palmer records. So, and they were a label based in Wembley. That were one of the sort of biggest, you know, along with Trojan. One of the take it out the sleeve. Hold on, it's easier to see it. One of the biggest sort of labels, along with Trojan, that were putting out these compilations of reggae, essentially reggae sevens. They did sevens as well. They were obviously putting out the music, but I really like the LPs. Obviously, you know, I'm more of an LP lover than a set. You know, I've got a few sevens, but you know, I love an LP compilation because it's a really good way to consume the music. So, I mean, these are all. You know, I find this one really interesting because this must be one of their early addresses. I think this one's from 1968, but it's Palmer Records Limited, 16 Peterborough Road, Harrow. Now, Harrow's where I grew up, so they obviously started there. Then they moved from Harrow to Wembley, just down the road, and they became one of the very biggest importers. Yeah, really, really, really cool. I'll show you the label. This is a yellow Palmer special. But a lot of they use some different colours on their labels, and they had some other sub labels as well. But so lovely these, yeah. So look at that, Rocksteady Go, Rocksteady, various artists.
Palmer special.
Yeah, Palmer, and it says Beverly Music. You'll see that at the side, and the Palmer brothers were the guys that ran it, but Beverly, I believe, was their sister, and I actually spoke to her once on the phone, which was quite nice. Yeah, and they were yeah, I mean they were just great, these compilations. You got to think this is the sort of late 60s in the UK, and a lot of this sort of ska, reggae, rocksteady music was being put out, but it was very underground.
And we said that quite some time. I think as a sampler is often quite cool to get into stuff.
Oh, very much so. And there were, you know, there were obviously sound systems going on, playing out you know, the sevens and stuff. But I think Palmer really hit on something here, and they actually had a lot of labels. They did a lot of sub labels, a lot of brands,
Yeah.
and I'll show you some of them because I've got some of the like really rare ones. So I'll show you some of the different labels they had. They had so a good examples, Crab. So this is one of their record labels, Crab, and there's loads of sevens on Crab. But this was like a sort of look, Crab biggest hit. So again, a compilation, a sampling, reggae ska beat, you see, and it put together. You know, it's got a nice flip back jacket here, and as you can see, it's just really nice. Yeah, they'd already moved, so they moved to Northwest 10 by this time, Craven Park Road, and this it's just so good, and the music on this is lovely. I've had
What year are we talking, Dave?
This is about 1969. This one, I believe. Yeah. Now this one's a bit different. I'll show you the label on this. Now again, this is a Palmer record, but it's under their Economy, and this is a really cool label. There's a lot of good compilations on this. Yeah. And I don't know if you can see there, the label's slightly textured, and it's got like a little perimeter ring. Now, what I realised when I was listening to this, and I was looking at it, and I could tell by the way the matrix is done, it uses a plus between the numbers. And so this is an All Lake pressing, All Lake Records. So they were a pressing house, and they actually did. I was wondering because these sound really nice, they sound really good. All Lake Island also pressed a lot of early Island records at All Lake. So these are kind of like Island records, the same thing,
Dave, I just had a nice thought now that you mentioned the year of this record.
Yeah.
Are you aware that when FX Twin put out those records, his records, he was closer to the reggae records you just showed than we are now to the FX Twin records?
Wow.
Imagine this.
Yeah, it's really we talk about this a lot, don't we? About the sort of time scales and when things happen. Yeah. It's actually since sort of doing the overseas, I've really got a much better perspective and looking at very important parts. And again, we keep referring to that early 90s period as very important. But I would also say, obviously the very late 60s was very important as well, because obviously you had the whole, Summer of Love 1967. You had all this crazy music coming out, psychedelic music. You had the Pink Floyd, you had the Beatles, you had the Stones, you had all this. But you got to remember a lot, at the same time, you had all this reggae music coming out. And I'll show you some of the other ones that we got. This is another Palmer sub label called Gas. Yeah. I came across it. I remember I bought them like literally. I must have bought these 20 years ago, or even longer. 20.
What a modern jacket art.
Yeah, look at that. And again, we're probably looking. I think this is another 1968 compilation. And again, so Gas Greatest Hits.
What is Blue Heat?
Oh, Blue Beat. That Blue Beat is a style. As soon as the way you got ska, Blue Beat is another style. You had Rocksteady. They tend to refer to sort of different tempos. Again, when you had again, I'll refer to that amazing ska documentary that is on Amazon or Netflix, but you must watch it because it goes into sort of details of this, but really cool. In fact, Manch, you're right. Yeah, there's these sort of waves of creativity that are really condensed within, like a sort of 3 to 5 year period sort of thing. And that was the same in the 60s. I mean, the cover of this is beautiful. Yeah. This one, I mean, I can't believe this is a 68 original. Look at that. Look how clean the flip back is. And again,
so those reggae records you just showed are all pressed in the United Kingdom, or?
Yes, they are. Yeah, no. Well, these ones are because Palmer were a UK label, the same as Trojan. Yeah. So
I think they come up in the OBC, Winston. Yeah, they will be in the shop. Yeah.
I'm going to show a killer one next. So because I love all these sub labels. There's another one called Camel, which was another label of theirs, and there's one called Unity. But this is a rare one. This next one, I totally forgot. This has got the best cover. They had a label. Look at this. It's going to blow your mind. This one. They had a label called Bullet. Look,
Yeah.
the world of reggae, ska, rocksteady, blue beat on Palmer. This is rare. This one. You don't
Okay.
see this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, blue. See, look, mono economy. The bullet hits various artists, and it's so cool. I mean, you got real big artists on some of these as well. You know,
Yeah.
some real. I mean, this has got the Kingstonians on, which is brilliant. But you know, I love the artists that appear on these records. You've got people like let me have a look here. Roland Alfonso, Pat Keeley. You know, I mean, the Soul Cats. In fact, I'll show you as well. This would be something for Nadine, because there's a bit of a crossover, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Soul and Palmer also. It's funny that Ireland did this as well, because they were doing reggae, but they also hit on soul a bit. And Palmer did a look at this soul sauce on
Wow.
Palmer, yeah. Various
Nice.
artists, yeah. Look at that. Look at that cover. That is so cool. In fact, see that that isn't even a sticker. See the bargain price, yeah. That's part of the printing. The
Oh,
printing.
no. Beautiful. One question, Dave.
Yeah, go on.
When it comes to those compilations, I know how deep you are into those compilations.
Yeah.
Are there sometimes artists and or songs that are only on this compilation, or how is
Now,
this?
do you know? You're right. There are. You know, they sometimes with certain compilations, they sometimes did that as a way to entice people to buy it, because maybe there would be a song on there that you wouldn't be able to get elsewhere. Let me just show you the label on this soul one as well, because it's quite good. This
Yeah.
got.
Oops. Oh.
Oh, you've unmuted. Cool. Yeah. So this one, as you can see there, it's got the Mohawks on there, which they did a really famous track called "The Champ," and it was like a sort of funk soul kind of mashup track that became very, very popular. And it's just really good. I mean, this again. So look, Palmer Special Soul Sauce, and again, this would be a 60s. I think this is probably again 68 or 69, something like that. But I haven't got around to listening to that one yet. I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna put that on and see what it's all about.
Yeah, do it.
But I've got yeah, I mean, I sort of dug out all these records. I was just going, wow. I've sort of forgotten that I had some of these. Look at these ones. You're gonna like this one. Bang Bang Lulu.
No comment. Looks a little bit like the Bad Company jacket, but only
Yeah,
when it's
very simple, black and white. Yeah, Palmer, and again, really nice condition. I mean, this one. I'll show you the
Do
back.
we need to talk about the saddle or don't we? No, we don't, right?
Well, it's cool. Well, after that, I thought I'd follow it up with that. You've got
I
yeah.
birth control.
This one's actually got a price sticker on it, but the original look, bargain price. Yeah, see that?
Even the bargains price sticker is stylish. So come on.
I mean, this has got some great people on it. It's got like the Ethiopians, Max Romeo, Laura Aitken. I mean, it's the reggae explosion. Yeah, there we are. So I knew people would like these, because they're quite, you know, some, if you look, some of these, they're not even on well, they are on Discogs, but there's none for sale, right?
Really?
This one cover. I love this one. Look, this a bit Christmassy, a gift from Palmer.
Nice. I mean, those they have now that you've shown quite some of them, they really have a certain style, and it's a great.
So. They've got quite a good sort of look about them, haven't they? I mean, this one's quite good. This has got that track, actually. I just noticed on there. It's got the Mohawks, the Champ. So that's like quite a famous one. And this was a bit of a compilation. So this is this is a bit more broad. It's not just reggae. They've got a bit of that soul thing that they were covering as well on it. So very, very nice.
Nice.
Just piles and piles of Palmer records. But I'm gonna go a bit deeper now. Yeah.
How many records did Palmer put out? How many
Quite a
roughly?
lot. They were a bit like Trojan. They were a bit like Trojan in that they put a lot of compilations out. Yeah. And they put a lot of sevens out. And you know, there's an interesting, again, there's another documentary about Trojan Records, which is really interesting because they put out so much stuff. They ended up going bust because they had this warehouse that was just filling up with unsold records to the point where they'd gone too far. Yeah. And unfortunately they folded, but they were literally, you know, these labels were prolific and they were churning out. Obviously there was a lot of good music going on, but the thing is, I think maybe it can go too far. So there's a lesson to be learned from that Trojan story. And it's very interesting. You can probably get it online, but look up the Trojan documentary and you'll see, and it gives you a good idea. But I've got so what I want to show you is I've got a few. Do you remember I told you that I had some silk screens?
Yes.
Best of the scat.
Here we go.
Now I'm going to get this out of the plastic because it's really there's a it's got a shrink wrap on it as well, which I left on. I know that's controversial, but that's the way I roll. This is a Studio One original JA Jamaican pressing silk screen of the Scatterlights, which are one of the, you know, the Scatterlights.
Was mache ich denn hier? Today I'm fumbling. Sorry, Dave. I muted you. Can you? Sorry.
I'm sorry it's got a bit of shine on it, but I'm not gonna dig this one out. This is super rare, this record, yeah.
Yeah, and the condition seems to be perfect.
Air raid shelter on it, and you know, this is Coxsone Dodd. So Coxsone was one of the big producers of early you know, sort of reggae, ska. I'll show it again, big. So look, there you go. Nice. Really, and I love these silk screen covers. Look at that.
Yeah,
it's fierce. Yeah,
it is.
I love them. I bought this, God, 20 years ago. This record. I was quite into the scene, and I was like, I'll buy. Back then they were a lot. Well, I say a lot cheaper. They were still expensive, but now like that, they're very, you know, any silk screens they go for hundreds now. Really. I've got some other. I bought them all at the same time. Actually, I managed to get. Yeah, I've got.
Do you remember where you bought them?
I bought them off I got into the collection in America. I wasn't in America, but I was in communication with them, and they all came from America. Yeah, so it's funny. They all came. Look at this one, the best of Alton Ellis, and again you can tell by the printing that it's like a lovely silk screen cover. And again, see, this is on a Coxsone. I'll show you the Coxsone label.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to show with these because Coxsone's a very, you know, a really good reggae label for those that are interested. So this is a Jamaican pressing, which is white. You see, now the pressing quality of the Jamaican records was not as good, as perhaps what was going on in other countries. Right, I'm sort of being polite, but
can we compare it to the African pressings?
Yeah, very similar. In fact, Michael, that's a very good comparison. Very similar. I mean, they're not the best pressings, but you know, when you're dealing with records like this, in fact, I'm going to show you. This is something I wanted to show because there's some Coxsone. I'll show you another Coxsone, but this is a British Coxsone. In fact, I put this in. This is super rare. This record. Now, Coxsone is an example of a Jamaica label that pressed both in Jamaica, but they also did British pressings, and they actually used Orlake. Okay, Orlake, same as Ireland used Orlake, and the British ones are superior, both in pressing and sound quality. And there's a different label, so I'll show you here. Look at this. So the British Coxsone pressings have got a blue label.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a textured label, so you know it's all that. By the way, just have a look at the condition on this. This is near mint. It's like it's unplayed. Yeah. Now,
Nice.
when you get a Jamaican pressing, you
It's
know,
broken.
generally, like we say, we refer to the African records. They tend to the pressing quality. You'll see contours. You know, it will not be a flat surface. Not meaning warpage, but I mean more. You know, the pressing is uneven. Yeah, so there might be ripples. There might be other sort of peaks and troughs within
Yeah.
the surface, which, you know, at the end of the day, and just to point this out, it's quite important. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference to when you're putting the stylus on, because even if the surface is not perfectly flat, you're still going to get, you know, the groove is still there. It's not going to affect it, but it's just generally the pressing quality is not as good. You might get a higher noise floor on those, so there might be a bit of background behind it.
Mhm.
If I don't get hung up on that sort of thing. You know, if
No,
I'm buying Jamaican
not in
records,
this case. No, no, I
you know,
agree.
if I'm buying Jamaican records, yeah,
Yeah.
JA pressings of reggae, I I know where the territory I'm involved in, yeah, and I'm buying it because I want to have a Jamaican pressing of a mad reggae record, yeah, and I'm going to enjoy it just as much as I do any other record. So it's just to be, you know, the same with the African records. You just got to be aware of what you're doing. You know, here, look, this is another mad one. Look at this Jamaican All Stars again, like a beautiful cover. This is a studio. It's got studio. See,
Again, 6 screen, Dave.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can tell by the
Wow.
wall. But again, see, it says Studio One on the cover here, and again, these are all shrink wrap, which was really I kept the
But
shrink.
Dave, have they been shrink wrap originally? It
Yeah,
can't be.
yeah. They would have been shrink wrapped. They would have been sent from Jamaica to America, and then probably
Okay.
shrink wrapped in America at the importer.
Okay.
I don't think they would have been shrink wrapped in Jamaica.
Mhm.
Yeah, because shrink wrapping tended to be a thing in America. Yeah, you know, so like it's made look another Coxon. Although it says Studio One on the sleeve, this one's actually a Coxon record. You see inside, and you know, there's so many examples of that, and there's so many pressings where you know, it's a minefield. The Jamaican pressings. There's hundreds, and you can get different ones with a different label on the sleeve compared to the record, and then different variations of the record label itself. You know, they're all off. You know, the record labels tend to sort of be, you know, sort of ragged round the edges, but you know, it is what it is. You know, and I enjoy it all like that. You know, it's part of what it's part of what the history of it is. You know,
Yeah.
so they're just lovely. They're just lovely. I'll show you a couple more. I've got some other nice ones here.
Damn, Dave, you're on fire tonight.
Look at that. Jackie Me Too in London. This isn't a silk screen, but still really, really super. Like a great album. Jackie Me Too in London. Yeah. Again, it's got a shrink wrap on it, which I left on. But just because I just think the cover just looks so nice like that. And again, it's look how the bags come. So they tended a lot of these Jamaican ones would just come in a poly bag like that. And again,
So
it's
if you see this white label, then
yeah,
it's
that'll be
legitimate.
a Jamaican white
Mhm.
label Coxon, and also Studio Ones. They tended to be white with black text. I mean,
Oh,
there are some variations, but you know, if you see that where a blue one, if you get a blue one, you'll know that's a British one, yeah. And
yeah.
generally, like as I've already said, the British ones have got they're really nicely pressed. I mean, essentially they're pressed the same as Island records. So
But
you
the,
know,
but is it that you have almost all the time both version, a Jamaican version and a British version, or either?
unfortunately, I don't. You know, that would be in a perfect world, Michael. But the problem is these don't turn up very often. That you'll be lucky even to see one type of them. But
Mhm.
I generally,
But originally in the years they did
oh yeah,
both.
they've both been released at the
Okay,
same.
okay.
I've noticed with the Coxon records, they were released in the same year, both in Jamaica and in the UK.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I think that's probably a little bit to do with there was a lot going on then. Ireland and you know Chris Blackwell, they were bringing loads of this music over, and I
Mm.
think there was a good connection that it was allowing this process to happen. You know, and a lot of these music to be put out over here at the same time as it was being. Obviously, it might have been a bit earlier in Jamaica, but it was still the same year of release. So look at that, presenting the Maytals. Never grow old, never grow old. Look at that. That's a cool cover. Again, this one isn't the silk screen, but I just really like it. Never grow old. And again, that's another Coxsone. I've got loads of Coxsone records. That's probably one of the best labels, really, I reckon. You know, for the original Jamaican stuff. Yeah, when you get into JAs. But I've got one more. There's one more I wanted to show you here because I just really. Here we go. Yeah, this one. Because Delroy Wilson, yeah, I shall not remove. I mean, look how old he is.
But don't tell me that this is a silk screen. If so, it's unbelievable.
No, I don't know. It can't. No.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah.
No, this one's quite interesting because it's a JA pressing, but a bit of colour on this one. Quite like that. Also, you'll see it's got the name at the top, Pepsi's High. It used to be used at I believe it was some sort of disco or something, you know, because some of them have got that written on. But yeah, that's a Studio One, but that's got multiple colours on it. But you also get Studio Ones just with black. But really, yeah, I mean, it's just mental stuff, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I wonder how many rare, special, amazing records you can squeeze in a 1 hour stream.
Well, it appears quite a few. In fact, I've got a few. In fact, I've got more to go. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're not quite. I haven't even got around to all the dub records yet because I'll just do a little.
Now the dub section.
Well, yeah, I was going to show. Let me see what I've got. I've got some Trojan. Just some. In fact, a couple of quite simple Trojan records, but still nice to look at. Things like this, the Guns of Navarone. Which is this is quite a famous Trojan record because they made quite a lot of these. I guess this is one.
But it's not connected to the movie, I guess.
Well, no, I mean it was a famous track, yeah. But again, see, I'm looking at this record now. It's interesting. I look at this, and again, I can tell this is yet another Orlake record. Yeah, it's got that textured feel, but the classic Trojan label with the orange and the purple. You see. And now I'm looking at them, I'm just thinking Orlake with doing the pressings, and that explains why so many of these old British reggae records sound so good. And I only just worked that out today. Yeah, I've never really gone through every single one like this, looking at them and going, right, what's that? It's kind of a nice thing to do. This is a good one. Look, the Upsetter. So that's Lee Scratch Perry, the Upsetter.
Okay.
I mean, he was you know, very prolific producer. I mean, he's so important.
Oh.
And
what year? Which time period are we talking now?
Let's have a look. We're probably talking 68. Oh no, 69. So many again.
Okay, still.
All these records I'm showing, they're all 68 or 69. I mean, they were literally pummeling these records out. They must have been almost like a weekly almost basis.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Trojan were renowned for doing that. they really, they were literally putting records out.
Winston is now the second person who to mention it. The people like your folks album.
I just want to do a little thing, yeah, because good for mentioning it, because I wanted just to do a little stop, yeah, just to show, and I want to raise a glass to Jane McGowan, yeah, and look at I love this cover. Look at them there. I mean, it's just great. Look, there we are. Look at that. Look how young he is.
Yes.
Now, this is the album that's got Fairy Tale of New York on it. You know, the pretty much the defining Christmas track. Yeah. And there's an interesting story behind that, because apparently it was Elvis Costello that bet him that he would never be able to write a Christmas song. And so he did, right? He wrote a Christmas song, and it ended up becoming pretty much the top Christmas song ever. And it's on that album. Yeah, so, you know, It's just yeah. I just want to raise a glass to Shane McGowan and have a drink, and it will. Yeah, it'll be this year's Christmas #1, no doubt here. But
No
yeah,
doubt.
he
No
was
doubt.
he was a legend, an absolute legend. So we've
Yes.
got to do that.
How old did he get?
60, I think he was early. I can't remember. It was 61, 62, something. Maybe his early 60s anyway. I don't know the exact age, but he still too young to pass.
Yeah,
Apparently,
but he lived his life, right? I think
I think he
he was not a shy guy.
I think he makes a lot of us look like play school. Do you know what I mean when it comes to that? He lived hard, and I can. It would have been. Oh, there we go. Yes, Doctor Witt. Thank you. I thought it was around that. So 65. Cool. But yeah, I mean, you got to think back to sort of Ireland, and they were a band that were very much came from that pub scene. Sort of playing this Irish traditional music, folk music, but far and heavily drinking, and the crack they call it. It must have been wonderful times. I mean, imagine seeing a band like that going into a pub and then playing in there. It would have been the atmosphere would have been amazing. Yeah,
For
really,
sure.
really, really cool. Really
No
cool.
doubt about that.
So yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to show a few more. So Lee Scratch Perry. Oh, this is quite a cool one. Look, The Undertaker, Derek Harriott and the Crystallites. Yeah. So again, this is another Trojan record.
But when it comes to Trojan, we are talking British records, Dave. Yeah?
Again, we're talking British. So Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to so Palmer and Trojan were British labels. Yeah. Yeah, and they were putting out this Jamaican music over here in the UK because there was a huge, we had the Windrush generation. There was a big Jamaican and West Indian community that came to London, and settled in London, and it's the same way that Ireland worked as well, in that there was opportunity to bring that music over here to cater for them. But it got a lot bigger, obviously it became huge, because loads more people got into it. But Trojan were a good example of a label that are doing that. They're bringing this music over here. And again, I keep showing it, the classic Trojan label. I really love that label. And again, I can tell it's got that textured feel with a little perimeter rim. So again, it's another Orlate pressing.
But Dave, one question for me to understand it a little bit more. Those Trojan Coxsone labels or Palmer, can I compare them to Warp, Rough Trade, and Virgin, or is it KTEL and
No, you can. They were independent, fiercely. Trojan, Coxsone, they were independent labels putting out great music in a similar way, that we would look at independent labels now, or we have looked in the past in the 90s or whatever, just putting out great music. And it, some of it cut through, like I heard that Guns N' Never Owned, that was a very famous. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, but it probably got in the charts and that became a really big seller. So certain tracks cut through to a much bigger popular audience, if you know what I mean. But a lot of the ska, and it was very much an underground scene. There were, in the 60s, there were underground clubs going on in London playing that music. So in a way, you could look at it the same way as it was a sort of almost a subversive thing. The way that a lot of music scenes start up, they come from this sort of small underground following, and then it breaks out. Like punk. Punk's another good example. You have punk did the same thing, and certain artists then break through, and then it becomes more mainstream. So again, that happened. That the ska, the reggae, the rock steady, all of that, the blue beat. Blue beat was a Prince Buster thing, by the way. That term, blue beat. Blue beat was a Prince Buster thing. And I haven't actually got any Prince Buster to show, but I do have, some. I'll have to dig those out. But I'm going to take a little, just a couple more, because I thought we've looked at so many mad reggae records. I thought we'll have some funky covers,
Super 8.
The Upsetters.
Okay.
Look at that. Yeah. So this is the first
Think
album.
of.
Again, this is Lee Scratch Perry, the Upsetters. And I just
Mhm.
think that cover is just brilliant. Look, check that.
It is. Roast
What's he
fish.
got in his belly? Roast fish, roots, cornbread, and maca in the belly. There we are. And this is actually, Michael, this is on Ireland. Look at
Okay.
this.
Here we go.
We got Ireland going on here. Super Ape. Let me get
Nice.
it in. Hold on. There. Get it
Where
in.
is focus? I almost had it.
There.
Now, here we go.
1976. So we're actually, it's interesting. So we're looking at Ireland, yeah, and Virgin. I've mentioned Virgin because I think they came a little. We're looking at those Scar records. They're late 60s. Now we're getting into mid 70s, and things have changed. You've got to think Bob Marley. You've got to think Ireland. You think Virgin that were putting out some reggae then as well. It's quite interesting, that change. But the reason I showed that is because there's a follow-up.
Okay.
Turn of Super Ape. And again, look at that. I mean, that is just the best cover in the world. Yeah. And this is actually, I can sort of feel, this feels like an American Return of Super Ape. This feels like an American record to me.
Yeah.
I've not looked. We'll look at this together. I've not looked at this yet. Let's work this out. What it is. So it's on the Upsetter label. Oh, look, hold on. Jamaica. It's a JA. Lee Scratch. That's probably quite rare, having the original Upsetter label. But what I would say is the sleeve to me, that is not a Jamaican sleeve. That feels like an American sleeve.
Okay.
You can tell. I can tell sleeves when I touch them as to roughly what they are, and that's American. So again, that's interesting. You've got a Jamaican record with an American sleeve, so they might have done a thing where they sent the records over and sleeved them up over in the States. But anyway, yeah, I've been digging through. You see, Mike, I've been digging through all this crazy stuff.
Really, really crazy stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if we could. Well, I think that'll be a good end, because otherwise we're going to end up going mental. I'll start digging out all the dub. Yeah, because I found all my old.
Morge put it. You are the sleeve whisperer.
Thanks, man. It's true though. You can tell. I can tell. I can hold it, and then I'll know whether it's kind of American or British, or it's
And if you want to be 100% certain, you lick a little bit, right? You taste it a little bit.
Well,
right?
I know people that go like this, because you can smell the card. This is getting really deep now. Yeah, you can tell an American. If you go like that.
No, you're lying now. No, you make that up now.
I'm not lying, Michael. I know people that will tell a sleeve by the smell. Now that's this. We're here somewhere now. I'll tell you what it is. It's to do with the card stock and the printing style. And with these old records, they have a certain way about them. And you can yeah, look, I like freaks. This has got look. That's brilliant. Yeah, say seriously, you trust me. There's people go, oh yeah, it's got that old US cardstock smell about it. Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. Trust me.
Your band name, exactly. The record sniffers.
Records take up all the senses: visual, smell, sound. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here.
And in this case, again, I agree with probably you know more about how the record has been treated and where it was.
No, I don't sniff records on a daily basis. Let's put it that way. But I'm just saying that I've seen that. Yeah, and they go, oh look, it's got that old American '60s record card smell going on. Yeah.
I think we should.
You an old sleeve that way.
I will rename this stream.
I like that.
I will rename it Reggae Grails by the Minute.
I like it. There's a Dave the sommelier. Like,
exactly.
You've got a fine wine, like a nice Burgundy going on, and you're testing it. It's the same. Yeah. Well, in fact, hey Joe, there was in fact I have got it somewhere, but there was another record in that the Universal Indicator series, yeah, which came in a card jacket, and the first ones they put a packet of popping candy inside it, and this was from about 93. Now I've got that somewhere, and I know that I've got the popping candy inside it. So I've got 31-year-old popping candy inside an Aphex Twin Records. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
I'll
Don't
have
eat
to dig
it.
that out. Maybe we can.
Don't eat it, Dave.
What do you think? It'll probably kill me if I had that. 31-year-old sugar. Maybe I don't know. I won't. But maybe
If you don't show up next week, we know what happened.
I'll have to dig it out, and then we can at least all observe it, and then I can sniff it while we're here. Go, oh yeah, that candy still smells good.
And then you have to tell or to say, is it a British, German, or American candy?
Wow! Now we get this is different level. We're reaching new heights here within the BC, aren't we? Damn, that's good. Look, that's it today. Look, we've done it.
We've done it again. You did it again. Very nice.
Well, that's reggae. That was reggae heaven. Yeah.
Probably. Damn, that was cool. Thank you so much. See us on the 2nd of Advent, right?
Cool. Nice. Let's do it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you, everybody. It's really good to see you all.